sorry.
Marshall asked me to be real nice to him tonight. Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Leland said, I'm Uncle Paul. I'm Marshall's godfather. And I've been teasing him since he was born. As many of you know, Leland and I have been friends since we were 5 years old. In fact, somewhere along the way, I think I became a Malchow and Leland became a Mick. We're brothers and will always be. And Lee Marshall and Georgiana call me Uncle Paul as regard. They call my wife Aunt Tammy. My children call them Uncle Leland and Aunt Jana. I've even asked, my kids even asked me one time, they said, Dad, how are we related to the Malchows? I said, it's a long story. To say that we're close would be an understatement. We love the Malchows. I love Lee. And I'm so happy for both. And I love Marshall, Georgiana. And I'm so happy for Marshall and Grayson. I know they'll be a great couple. I know this because Leland and Jana are a great couple and are perfect role models. And on top of that, Grayson's parents, Dan and Catherine, are perfect role models as well. So you guys, you got a head start because you've been watching something that's perfect as it goes on. Both of you have a lot to learn though, because marriage is a challenge. So I thought I'd give a little advice. And this was some advice that's been passed along to me. And the first one, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, but it's worth repeating. And this advice is for Marshall, and it was given to me by my dad. So Marshall, you can be right, or you can be happy. You choose. And I hope you learned a lot quicker than I did, because it took me 2 years to figure out what my dad told me. Okay, the second piece of advice. Alright, so the second one is for Marshall as well. I think y'all figuring out all this advice is for Marshall. He is my godson, so I can pick one. This advice comes from a friend, and I found it very valuable over the years. He said, Paul, when you do mess up and don't follow your dad's advice, which knowing you will be often, use the following 4 sentences which are guaranteed to get you out of trouble. I suggest you write these down. You were right. I was wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm sorry. You need those again? Alright, you got it. Alright, this is for both guys. So I've had fun picking on Marshall, but I do have some really good advice here. And it's something I heard one time from a speaker at a conference, and it's an idea that he shared that stuck with me today. And he said, too many people go into marriage thinking it's a 50-50 partnership. You do your half, and I'll do my half. He said the problem with that is both spouses come up short because they think they're putting in 50%, but it's always far less in the other spouse's opinion. He said the solution is simple. Control what you put into marriage or the partnership and feel like you're putting in 90% all the time. If you reach that level, you might be close to 50%. In other words, give and then give some more. Marshall and Grayson, I toast both of you because you're very special people and you're blessed in so many ways. Tomorrow those blessings will be multiplied 100 times when you're joined as husband and wife. May you have a long and loving marriage and be surrounded by family, friends, and children who will love and encourage you all the way.